Welcome to the video. Thank you so much for joining me today, this week, whatever day it may be. A couple of weeks ago, I asked on my Instagram what Pokemon I should draw in my sketchbook, and you guys were so kind to give me some suggestions. Unfortunately, I was not able to get through all of them since there were just too many to even fit on this page. But, yeah, I started off with Sobble. He's the one I actually picked when I played Pokemon Sword and Shield. I really love Sobble. Like, I think he's just such a cute Pokemon. I personally am not a huge fan of the evolutions of Sobble. I think they look kind of mannish and a little bit creepy. I'm sorry for everyone who loves them. Good riddance, whatever. He was my strongest Pokemon on my team. I just didn't really like to look at him, to be honest. But yeah, this little guy, he's my buddy. He's cute. He's got his little chameleon hands, you know. He's very simplistic. He's basically made up out of 3 circles. If you just look at his tail, his head, and his body, like his little arms and legs are just like additions, and the little thing on top. I don't even know what I would call that. It's not a feather. Maybe like a fin of some sort. But yeah, I think he's a cute guy. Yeah, I did struggle a little bit at the beginning with these Pokemon because I tend to like to work a little bit more detailed, and I struggle with like drawing smooth surfaces. I think it's just always not really looking very much like textured, you know? But anyway, I do think he turned out looking really cute. Next up was Abra. That's my partner's favorite Pokemon. I do quite like him. He's yellow and he looks a little tired maybe, which honestly, fucking relatable. Yeah, honestly, to be honest guys, I have played Pokemon for a lot of my life. I remember playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Color, and I played a lot of it when we were like going on holiday, like skiing holidays and stuff, playing it in my bed like at night when I was supposed to sleep. But for someone who has actually been playing Pokemon for that long, I would kind of not really say that I'm an expert on anything Pokemon related. A lot of these suggestions I had to look up because I was like, I have never even heard of this Pokemon. Who is that?
Wait a minute! Who are you?
But, yeah. I do like Abra. I had quite a lot of fun drawing these Pokemon with my Ohuhu markers. They are such intense, punchy colors, which works super well for in the sketchbook. They do press through a bit, but I don't really care since it's my sketchbook. I'm not really looking for like print-ready pieces here, so yeah. I worked with alcohol markers, and then I would add on top some colored pencils and some different colored fine liners, just to bring out the shapes a bit better. Look at this guy. He's got his little shoulder pads and everything. He could definitely have lived in, the 90s. 90s or 80s. I don't know. When was shoulder pad high time for people? That is something I wonder about. I do like working with fine liners a lot. I think they help give the piece a whole lot of shape and just brings out the colors a lot more, and it helps it not bleed too much into the background. Colored pencils are always good to like elevate the values. I would like give you a list of all the art materials that I used for this sketchbook page. I think I used so many random things though that I don't even know if I can remember all of them perfectly. I do know that for the base color I used Ohuhu markers with the brush tips, and for the colored pencils, for the sketching, I have those Pilot Color Eno mine colored pencils. Those are really, really nice to just get like a rough sketch down. Yeah, for example, this guy, Dino, I don't know even how to say it, but I have seen this guy before. I've seen that guy, like, outside my house before. No, I've never actually, like, remembered seeing this guy until I had to take a proper look at him. Like, if you had told me the name of this Pokemon, there is no chance in hell that this is the guy that I would have drawn. Like, I don't know. This guy's just so cute. I like his little weird floof hair helmet, whatever he has. And I think at this stage of the drawing, I also finally started to kind of get into the rhythm of it and understanding the textures that I wanted to bring out in these Pokemon, since, as I said, they do kind of tend to have a very smooth and, like, not very textured body. So I went for a bit more feathery of a rough on Dino here. And I also used gray instead of going in with brown directly for his scruff and his hat thingy. I don't think it's a hat, but you know what I mean. Kind of looks like he has a flower on his head. But yeah, he's a cute little guy. Shape out his mouth and nose a little bit with some fine liners. Make him feel a little bit more physical than just fading into the background with the alcohol markers. I've had the thought of what my favorite Pokemon is. Whenever I see any Pokemon, I'm just kind of like, what is my favorite Pokemon? And honestly, I find that so hard, especially since there's like 1,000 different Pokemon and I don't really know all of them even. But I am a big fan of the grass types and the fairy types, obviously, because I really love fairies. So that makes sense. Any of the pink Pokemon, fucking love them. They're so cute. And yeah, I include Munna in that. I think Munna is actually, might be one of my favorites. I think she's so cute. And I really like Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is just a little firecracker guy. That's just a little guy. I like him a lot. What else? Yeah, it's really hard to pick just one favorite. I do think Haunter is just a really cool Pokemon. Like the whole Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar evolution line, I think they all just have such fantastic design. Like, very simply, very shapely, but they just are so memorable. Like, they're so recognizable, even like in their silhouettes and stuff. You just know which Pokemon that is. I do think I recognize a lot of the older generations better than the newer ones because I played less the older I got. Like, I did play Eevee and Pikachu and Eevee. I don't know which one came first. The chicken or the egg, am I right, guys? But I did play that one. I actually got the Switch dock. That was my first Switch I bought, was the Eevee and Pikachu one. And then I played Sword and Shield. I think I got Shield, personally. Yeah, I don't even think that I finished that game. And then any of the later ones I didn't end up getting, because I do love Pokemon, but I do kind of tire a bit of the of the grind, because a lot of it is just like doing the same thing over and over. And I do know that it's super rewarding when you like get to catch something rare or something, but I don't know. I think I generally struggle a bit with gaming and like how it makes me feel in regards to my productivity. I oftentimes feel like I don't deserve to spend time playing games, because I could be spending it doing work or being productive in some sort of way, like doing the dishes or cleaning up. Like, there's always something to do that isn't like to do with just enjoying yourself. So instead of actually sitting down and playing like a game for a couple of hours, I tend to play a lot of mobile games, which is honestly at the end of the day the exact same thing. So I don't know why my brain is telling me that like playing a proper game is, I'm not allowed to do that, or just I feel guilty when I do. But I do wish I could get back into it. I do love playing games. I don't know. I just think that, like, especially in today's day and age, we are so trimmed for that idea of if you don't do anything productive, you're not worth anything. And obviously that's not true. Obviously I know that too, but something in my brain might be a little broken. That's okay. That's why I hopefully will get therapy soon. Anyway, look at this guy I'm drawing. He's looking really fancy. I quite like how I did his shading and having the depth of the purples in his hands and on his tail thingy. I think I really, really was really happy with the tones of the purples that I got. And making him look very shapely and ghostly. Not ghastly, that's another one. I think I especially love this extremely punchy pink that I picked for his tongue. Like, in hindsight, I definitely should have done a pose where he had the tongue out, but, you know, hindsight is 2020. I was just kind of like going as I went, seeing how I could fit them in on the page. You know, people would definitely run from ghost Pokemon if they were real, but I don't know, they're so cute. He's just like, nyah. Nyah. See, this is why you can't sit me in front of my computer to do a voiceover for over 40 minutes, because I will not stay on topic. I cannot stay on topic. That is just not how my brain works. I wish it did. I wish it did. I know. I'm sure you're wishing that too right now, as you're sitting there probably, I don't know, listening. As you're sitting there watching me draw these guys. Yeah, how's your day going? I hope it's going well. As good as it can be, anyway. Spring is starting, finally, which I'm really excited for. There's finally been some sun. That's been very enjoyable and definitely a change of pace. Anyway, back to the drawing. think always my favorite part of a drawing is adding the highlights, adding a little white, just to make it pop a bit more, make it a little bit more physical and not 3D, but like more dimensional, more three-dimensional. I love how that pops. That mouth is super good. The next one, I think this one is called Scolipede. I have no memory of ever seeing this Pokemon in any of the games that I played, but I actually think its design is so neat. I really love that it's kind of like a little, it's like a little centipede, centaur, horse, bug horse, centaur, I don't know. It's something very strange, and I love that. I love that it has those little 4 legs and the long neck, kind of like a little birdie even. I don't know, I just think it's such a cool design, and I had a ton of fun drawing this one. I was kind of a little bit intimidated with how much detail it had. Like, it has all of those little scales on the back, and the little fingies slash toes or whatever are coming out the end of them, those little spikes. Yeah, I actually took the longest to sketch this one out because it was so detailed. My process with these Pokemon was just kind of like to wing it. I think they all turned out to varying degrees. I think they all look okay. I think they all are cute. I do think that if I were to do another Pokemon drawing, I would probably work with less alcohol markers and more with colored pencils and something where I can add a little bit more texture. Though I do think that the alcohol markers definitely lent themselves to this very smooth, buggy creature. It's kind of shiny and very solid, so that it kind of likens to a bug shell, and I think that actually lent itself very well to this one. Adding some dimension with some darker colors. What a year it's been already, right? Huh. I wish I could, like, joke about how bad it's been, but it's been really fucking bad. I know most of you guys probably understand why, like, just the world situation and everything that's going on. But let me not dwell on that, since we are drawing cute little critters here. Instead, let me talk about why the hell I chose to pick a pink marker to line this guy. I don't know. It just felt right. And you know, I think a lot of people are looking for art tutorials, art advice, how to draw well. And I know that this advice is like old news, and everyone who hears it kind of has to roll their eyes a little bit about it, but honestly, that's something that I've been realizing since I've been working on this sketchbook. I make some of my best work when I just do whatever the heck I want. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I feel like ripping this piece of paper and gluing it into my sketchbook and then just scribbling on top of that whatever I feel like. And that's honestly been the best approach for me. I have been in at least some kind of burnout in the last few years. I have been a self-employed artist for 7 years this year, I think, with varying success along the way. But I think, like, I've just found again that I just want to have fun with art, because that's something that I've kind of lost. I kind of started relying purely on my skills instead of also just letting myself roam free and just sometimes draw whatever I want instead of asking other people to tell me what to draw. I think I'm always kind of swinging in between those things where it's, do I need someone to tell me what to draw so I can actually draw something, or can I just allow myself to sit down with my sketchbook and draw something that may not come out looking incredibly perfect, but that I had fun with, and that I tried something new, or that I tried something that I have never tried before, or just doing something different, you know, not something that I do every single day. And I think just drawing in my sketchbook has been incredibly helpful with that compared to doing my digital artwork, which is what I have been doing for the most part for the last 7 years. And I am so excited that the sketchbook is, like, not that many pages away from being finished. I think there's about 13 more pages or something that I need to fill, and I am honestly so excited to show you guys the whole thing when I am done. I'm so excited to make a sketchbook tour because I think it is my best sketchbook to date. I mean, that makes sense since it is the newest one, but still, I'm really happy with it, and I hope that you guys are gonna like it too. If you follow my art a little bit, you've probably seen some of my short videos and just pictures of my sketchbook pages that I've been doing. And I haven't posted all of them to Instagram or anything, but they're all on my Patreon. So if you ever feel like having a little bit more of a glimpse into my work and into my OCs and everything, if you are above the age of 18, I would be so happy if you chose to support my Patreon. There is some spicy stuff on there, thus the age thingy. But, yeah, I've just been having more fun with art recently, and I think that's incredibly valuable for someone who has that as their job. Given that I was able to choose that I wanted to do this for my work, knowing that I was not going to be rich or anything, I think I wanted to do it, and I still want to do it because it is the thing that makes me happy, is to draw, to be creative, and to share it with people and bring them some joy, bring them smiles, and I don't know, inspire people to maybe draw themselves as well. I just love sharing art and looking at art, and I'm so grateful that people are willing to look at my work and tell me what they think about it. And if you have any kind of thought about this, good or negative, please feel free to put them in the comments. Like, I literally read every single comment. I would be so honored if you took time out of your day to like the video, or leave a comment, or subscribe. Any of those things, like, help me a lot. And I want to make more of these videos. I know that, like, it's something completely new and different for me, and it takes a lot of time. This whole drawing took around 3 hours, I think. And then sitting down, editing it, doing a voiceover where I just babble about nonsense for 40 minutes. It's a lot of work, and I love doing it, and I just hope that people also love consuming it. I hope you're enjoying the consummation of this sketchbook. Consummation. Is that not another word? Sus. I don't know. Consumption. Thank you for your consumption of my video. If you're actually sitting there listening to me talk, drawing this thing, like if you're maybe even sitting there yourself, you're doodling on the side, that's awesome. That's exactly what I hope to accomplish. I want to inspire people to get creative themselves, because I know that that's how it works for me. When I see other people like put up videos about their art and put out their artworks on Instagram, it inspires me. And seeing like the process of an art piece being made, especially now, today's day and age with AI and everything, it's incredibly valuable to be able to see people use their skill and hone their skill and get better at what they're doing, instead of just like sitting back and relaxing, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see people be creative, no matter their skill level. I just love to see people create art that is meaningful to them, that moves them, and that they have fun with. Because that's the whole point of being creative, is to be in it and kind of enjoy it. Like, even if you don't enjoy the whole process, because we all have our favorite stages of a drawing. Let's be real. For me, my favorite part is usually the lines, the inks, which I didn't get to do a lot of in these pieces because they are just so smooth and like silky Pokemon. I don't know if a silky Pokemon is a correct term, but that's what my heart wanted to say. So if you're still here at this point of the video, and you're listening to this, and you're hearing my voice say these things right now, thank you for sticking around and for actually listening. That's wild to me that someone actually would sit down and watch a whole video that I made. And it humbles me a lot. Like, I'm obviously recording this before I know if this is gonna get any traction at all, and that's okay. I did a short video of these Pokemon as well, and it really did super badly on YouTube, which was really funny to me because I thought Pokemon were very popular. But it's totally fine. I did this as a little bit of a thank you to my followers, as well as, you know, trying something different, because I don't really draw a lot of Pokemon. And I do think that I have a whole lot to learn and grow from after drawing this whole page. I do think that I want to draw more Pokemon, but I might have a different approach next time. Though I do think all of these Pokemon got better the longer I worked on this page. I think the whole thing as a whole looks really cool. Very stickery Pokemon, kind of like they're not really all standing in a group formation, you know what I mean? They are very singular, stickery, and I really like that look on this sketchbook page. I think they turned out looking pretty cool. What are you guys' favorite Pokemon? You should let me know in the comments. Do you prefer the older games, or do you prefer the newer ones? Is there something in particular you dislike about the Pokemon games? How do you feel about Mr. Mime? These are the real questions. let me tell you, when I found out that Mr. Mime was gonna be the European Pokemon for Pokemon Go, I was friggin' pissed. Like, I'm sure that there's someone out there who likes Mr. Mime, but it's not me. I don't like him. I think he's creepy, and I think he looks too much like a human while not looking like a human at all. And that is problematic to me personally. And it really made me a little bit sad to be European when Pokemon Go happened. I played a lot of Pokemon Go. I was like out there when it was big. I was out there with my friends catching Pokemon. And it was super fun, and I think it actually did get me outside a lot more than I usually would go outside. Until until they made a Pokestop that was directly in front of my house. And I didn't need to go outside anymore to catch Pokemon and to get my daily Pokestop spin, which kind of defeated the purpose of the game, and I don't think I kept playing it for much longer after that. Which, yeah, wasn't really the purpose of the game. But it was fun for as long as it lasted. It was cool to see just other groups of people walking around playing Pokemon Go. Like, it was kind of wild. I never had like a huge group. I had a couple of friends who played it. But I like always when we saw those people playing like raids, like there's just a whole group of people standing nearby a fountain with their phones out, and you know like exactly what they're doing. Those were good times. Remember the good times? Somehow the good times are never now. You know what I mean? People are always like, when they say the good times, they mean something in the past. The good times. Which generally, you know, if you look back at the past, lots of stuff that happened that wasn't great. And that definitely wasn't good times. It was most definitely bad times. Anyway, it's Meowth. Look at him. He's so cute. With his little 2 teeth. And his little weird paws and monkey tail. Such a weird guy. I actually really liked drawing him. I thought I was not gonna like drawing him at all because of like the very basic color palette, but I actually had a bunch of fun. I think his little toesies turned out great, and he just looks like a little freak, which I mean he is. Look at him. Had to draw another little Bulbasaur for my friend, my co-creator of our webcomic On Thy Knees. They love Bulbasaur. It's their favorite, and of course I love Bulbasaur too. I think it's like the OG perfect Pokemon. Like, out of all of the first 150, I think, like, the fucking Bulbasaur is just peak. Like, it's just such good design. It's so cute. The little bulb on the back and the evolutions, they're all fantastic. And I just think they did a really good job with this design in particular. As you can tell, I was starting to run out of space on my sketchbook page. So these last few guys are pretty small, though I think I still managed to make them look somewhat recognizable. I think. I mean, a Pokemon could probably, like, just draw a couple of blobs in the correct color and someone would recognize them. You know, I really love Actually, that's a movie. I actually love editing. I just really have executive dysfunction. I struggle like actually sitting down and doing the task, even though I have plenty of stuff to do. Like, there's always something I could be working on. And there's always an idea I have scratching at the back of my mind. Sometimes it's just really, really hard to sit down and get that pen on that paper or on that tablet to make a line. I don't know why it's so hard. But I know I'm not alone in that one, so at least we all struggle creatively together. And that's what makes our community so great. We all love the arts and the painting. That's the littlest Hitmonlee you'll ever see. He's so small, but he's ready for a fight. Look at him. He's just got his arms up. He's got his little potato body with his two eyes. I don't know. This Pokemon was never my favorite. I think he looks kind of scary. I mean, it's good for him that he looks scary. He is a fighting Pokemon. So maybe if people are scared to fight him, he'll just win by them running away. Maybe that was the evolution purpose of this creature. Or like scary face, scary arms. Maybe not. Maybe I don't want to deal with this guy. I don't know. I do think something about the bipedal Pokemon is just always a little bit creepy because they're walking on their back hind legs. Animals are supposed to be on all four legs. Why are you walking towards me like a man? That's scary. And yes, that also includes Meowth. Meowth is also a little bit scary because it's bipedal. I think we can all agree that like the humanoid Pokemon like are just a little bit on the scary, creepy side. At least for me personally. I just don't think that we need animals that look like people. You know? I mean they're monsters, so I guess they're derived from humans. How did Pokemon happen? I mean, they're animals, right? You can really tell that I'm getting towards the end of this voiceover because nothing I'm saying is making any sense anymore. But someone even said they would have watched a 3-hour video. Thank you, Mickey. I might do that sometime, but I'm definitely not gonna VO it because that just seems I would make myself insane because I would have to listen to myself for that long. I have to talk alone in my room for that long, and then I have to sit down and listen to it all over again when I'm editing it. And then I have to hear all my silly things that I'm saying and decide what to leave in and what to take out. What is not silly enough? What is too silly? Man, what a hard life I'm living. Obviously, I'm joking. I am drawing Pokemon, so it's really not that hard of a life right now. As long as I'm drawing, my life is good. But sadly, a lot of the job is not really got anything to do with drawing anymore. Because nowadays, like, especially if you're self-employed, you have to do everything. You're doing your own marketing, you're doing your own promoting, you're doing your own advertising, you're doing your own posting. And you have to do all of that and also do normal things at home, like doing dishes and doing laundry and changing your bed sheets and vacuuming. And I just really could use someone who helps me doing things. But that's the whole thing with being self-employed, or employing yourself, so you kind of have to do all of the jobs that come with the job, which with this job is a lot of jobs. At least I can put that on my resume if I ever feel like I can't make this work anymore. Not gonna lie, it's been a bit of a struggle for the last couple of years. I know that I'm not alone. We are in a recession, kind of globally, and I do live in one of the most expensive countries in the world as a self-employed artist, which is not the smartest move, but you know. We are nearing the end of this drawing, this whole sketchbook spread. Look at this little Jolteon here, up in that little crevice that we still had. I finished up the page with a couple of sparkles, just trying to tie it together a bit more. I was not very happy with how that looked, so I decided to actually fill in the background with black to make sure that they all pop out and are individually recognizable. And it's just also really nice and meditative to do just filling in work. Like, it's so satisfying, especially like sped up. I think it looks really cool when it all just starts to pop out really well. And yeah, that's the whole video. So sorry for talking about a whole bunch of nonsense. If you sat through this whole thing until the end, you get a cookie. A cookie that is good for you and works with your dietary restrictions. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you want to, and come back the next time I upload a video. Till the next time. Bye!